Hello, I'm Charlie Mattingly, Certified Financial Planner at Leading Edge Financial Planning.
I'm Kevin Gormley.
All right, today we're with you today. We're going to talk about number 8 of the top 10 retirement mistakes that we see. So we're going to try to articulate that in just a few minutes today. Number 8. But first, before we get going, how's it been going, Kevin? What have you been up to lately? You've got some neat activities going on. We want to share with everybody.
It's been going great, Charlie. Thanks. I taught a personal finance class at Maryville College in January. 3 weeks, 3 hours a day, and I tortured about 27 students who had to listen to me for 27 hours in 3 weeks. Wow. Very painful.
You get to channel your inner professor. That's cool.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm often called an absent-minded professor, so I actually get to be a professor.
The interesting thing is, though, Kevin's a college athlete, but now he wants to be a professor and super nerd, and we're happy. And we're happy that he's
actually,
the brains.
I'd rather be a college athlete, but anyway, I don't have the stamina.
That's right. Yeah, but well, that was an awesome experience, and I know the kids benefited from it. I know you did it last year. We got one of our interns from that. Sharp people out there at Maryville College.
Yeah, I guess, Charlie, the most interesting thing that I find is when you're working with younger people. They don't have all this financial baggage. They don't have all this, we'd call it biases. They don't have these biases. And going through some of the exercises with them and talking to them about, situations that we see in our lives and clients' lives, they're amazed that people don't save money. They're amazed that people come to us when they're 50 and say we haven't started saving yet. So they don't have all these biases that many of us have. So so I enjoy teaching, and hopefully I'll continue to do so.
Yeah, that's awesome to connect with young people, because you can, if you start small at that age, and it's exponential.
Plant a seed.
Yeah, it's exponential. But
absolutely.
On that note, number 8 is mistaking financial entertainment for actionable news and actionable information, or what we call knowledge, being able to take what's on TV or maybe the internet and take it to our own personal lives and do something with that information. It just doesn't connect, does it?
That's right. Yeah, Charlie. So we did an exercise in the class where the students got to take an hour and watch a television channel between 6 and 8 at night, and the students mostly chose Jim Cramer, Mad Money, and they chose the Shark Tank. They could choose any show they wanted. But the feedback that they gave their fellow students was that the shows were very entertaining. The people that presented the shows that were a little more traditional and less exciting, they even didn't have as much passion about presenting the data as they did from the shows. So the number one thing that we see on TV during the hours of 6 to 8 or even all day is that they are trying to entertain. They are not trying to really care about our future financial life. They are trying to entertain. I mean, have you seen examples of things that you thought were entertaining but not really informative?
Oh yeah, and I love both of those shows. I love Shark Tank, and I like Jim Cramer too. The guy is amazingly intelligent to be able to talk about those breadth of companies ad hoc like he does. But even Jim Cramer will tell you, it's in the fine print somewhere, and he said it before, I know, maybe not every night, but you got to have a foundation and of investing, a diversified, boring foundation, which is kind of what we do. We don't get to go on there and do the exciting, fun shows because we're not that talented. But
that's right.
But that information on those shows is entertainment. They have to sell commercials. We just got to make sure that we, as consumers, as clients, as advisors, are able to discern what's entertainment and what is information that we can use. And I'll be honest with you, from that time period you mentioned, it's probably pretty much nothing that we can actually use in our long-term plan.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, because every day they talk about what the market's doing. They talk about, the new president, what's going to happen with the new president, what's going to happen with the economy. And when we think about our financial plan 10 years from now, 20 years from now, does it really matter what happened on January 17th, 2017? Probably not.
Right.
Probably not. So Charlie and I have thought about a new show that maybe we could pitch to CNBC called Long-Term Financial Planning. We do an hour a night and talk about financial planning. How do you think that show would go over, Charlie?
Not too good. Not too good. we got no takers on that. But before we wrap up, there's a few things that we wanted to highlight today. And one of them was, you mentioned before we started today, about the story, the power of a story. And I thought that was fascinating. What was that you were?
Well, I
looking at?
mean, some of the students talked about, when they talked about investments that they saw on the shows, they talked about the story about why the investment was exciting or sexy or neat.
Yeah.
And then when I asked, tell me about the financials of the company, they didn't know anything about the company. They knew the story, and the story, it's not just them, it's all of us. The story hooks us, especially bad stories. Negative stories can hook us, and news media knows this. So it's not so much sometimes about what the return is going to be in a percentage term. It's that there's some new hot thing, and you got to invest in it. So I don't know about you, but I'm a sucker for a good story.
That's right, and it sells commercials, and we shouldn't lose sight of that. Need for those shows to sell their commercials. Again, doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that it's not information that we want to use for our long-term financial plan to help us get to retirement. The other thing that we talked about, other than the power of the story, was our innate human need for predictions. I mean, we love it.
And safety.
And safety, because one of our needs or one of our dislikes as human beings is uncertainty. We as human beings hate uncertainty. We hate chaos. We hate the unknown. And so it's so comforting to look to those shows, to look to the experts and go, hey, there's a prediction. They know what they're talking about. We're going to hang our hat on that prediction, and we're going with it. And unfortunately, we pay the price for that. If we, as investors, if we take that advice, and we've seen it, we just put out a video about what would happen if we take some people's advice. It can be bad. But the person making the recommendation or the prediction, there's no consequences for that person. Unfortunately, we and our clients would pay the price, pay the penalty in the form of not being prepared at retirement if we followed that advice and it was wrong.
So we've talked about television, but also we can get addicted to internet news. We can get addicted to newsletters. We can get, when I say addicted, maybe addicted is not the right word, but a lot of people find going on the web or watching TV about investing to be entertainment. And I guess our thoughts is that you really have to be careful, and we can delude ourselves with our ability to think about the fact that these are true stories, or we have some inside knowledge based on what we see, and we have to separate entertainment from financial planning.
Right, that's right. And so to wrap up today, I mean, we want to leave you all with good news sources. Good, reliable, objective as possible, so that you can go to. And again, it's not something you can go, and they're not going to make a whole lot of predictions because it's not useful. But we believe that we listened to a guy by the name of Paul Merriman, and he has a podcast. He's written several books. Look him up on the web. We think he's great. Morningstar.com is a great news source for information. They have retirement planning in there, and you can even pay, I think, $150 to $200 a year and get even more detailed information. You may or may not need that.
Christine Benz is really
she's excellent.
She's quite good with retirement.
Yeah, we talked about our favorite books to share as well, and I think one that always sticks out in my mind is The Millionaire Next Door. That book made an impact on me early, after college, and I think it's just very valuable. That's one that I liked. What about you?
The Little Book of Common Sense Investing is a book that I enjoy, and Winning the Loser's Game is a second one.
Yeah. So there's lots of good information out there. You just have to know where to look. Give us a call. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we'll help try to find, again, that's half the battle, is finding that good, unbiased information. So, just to wrap it up, remember that those stories are powerful on TV, and even though they may be sincere, heartfelt, they may not apply to our situation. Number two, it's not actionable advice. For our situations, our long-term plans anyway, it is entertainment, and they need to sell commercials. And number three, remember there's something innate in us that loves to look for predictions and look for that stability, but it actually can harm us in the long run.
Yeah, so watch Netflix, go to a sports event, go to a play, go out to dinner. We think that that's much better entertainment. But if you enjoy financial news, just be careful. So thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.